I try to rely on natural light as much as I possibly can, but today the lighting is not good. So we pulled in the big guns, which is my little IKEA lamp, reflecting back very nicely in this picture here. There's not a lot I can do. Like yesterday, it was torrential rain from dawn till dusk. In fact, from the middle of the night until the middle of the night. So I don't have a lot of luck. Yesterday was my usual filming day. I decided not to do it then. So today is my only option and it's grey. It looks like it's going to snow. So it wasn't really even an option today, but we've had to make things work. Hopefully it's not too bad. I'm told that I care way more about the lighting than viewers do. Hopefully that's the case. Today we have a little book haul. I've got 10 books to mention here. I very, very rarely buy a lot of books in one go. So I split my collector book hauls up into 10 books. I'm very behind on them though. So I've actually got 30 books to haul from the start of summer until now. That still is too many, but we've definitely slowed down my book buying habits since I realized that I'm not reading as much. So I can't be taking as many books in because I'm not having enough that are going out after I've read them because I'm not reading them. We've got a very itty bitty little book haul here, but there are more to come. So you can expect one probably in 3 or 4 weeks time. I'm going to call this my birthday book haul because this does contain the books that I received for my birthday. Very, very grateful, of course. Very, very excited about lots of these reads, and some of them I have read, but we've got an eclectic mix as always, and I'm so excited to share them with you. First up, I feel very good about this purchase because this is a book I've actually already read, and it's one that I read on Kindle and I loved so much that I wanted to own it physically. Generally, when I read a book on Kindle, I then make the decision after I've finished it about whether I want to purchase it or not. If I rated the book 5 stars, which in this case I did, then it's pretty high likely that I will purchase a physical copy for myself, unless the book is hideous. Like, it would have to be hideous for me to not buy it. This is not hideous. It's not the most beautiful book cover there is, but it's a book that I thoroughly enjoyed and I wanted to own on my shelves, as I have other works from the author on my shelves that I enjoyed less. So it makes sense to get my favourite as well. And this is Better Than the Movies by Lynn. This was a 5-star read for me, like I just hinted at. You know, surprise, surprise, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I have been wanting to get the paperback for a long time. I think they only had the hardcover when I first read this, and then this book is always kind of expensive, as in normal retail price online, because it's a really popular one, so obviously why would they discount it when they don't have to? But I finally found it for a decent price. I think I paid £5 for it or something like that, and I decided to purchase it. So I'm really excited to finally have a copy of Better Than the Movies. If you haven't heard of this one before, we're following Liz and Wes. They are high school students and they are neighbours. They have this kind of frenemies relationship, and then it turns into something more throughout the book. Liz has a crush on the guy at school, and Wes kind of helps her out in trying to get him, but has a crush on her that he's had pretty much all along. And it's got one of the most beautiful love declaration scenes. It's a very like high school rom-com, typical American cheesy movie, but also so heartwarming and has quite a lot of depth, particularly with Liz, who has lost her mother, so she's dealing with the grief of that as well. Perfect young adult book. Like, I literally wouldn't change anything about this. One of the best there is. Okay, moving on into books that I received my birthday. First up, I have The Position of Spoons by Deborah Levy. This is Deborah Levy's latest release, I believe. I don't think she's put anything else out since then, but I was kind of umming and ahhing about getting it because it's in hardcover. Don't love a hardcover, especially for a lit fic, but I found a signed copy. I also have another signed copy by Levy. I've got August Blue. It's got the coolest signature. This one is just a regular little scribbling of her name. But I love Deborah Levy. She's one of my favourite authors. So I'm very thankful to have another signed book by her. I'm not sure what this is actually about. Shall we read the blurb? In The Position of Spoons, Deborah Levy invites the reader into the interiors of her world, sharing her most intimate thoughts and experiences as she traces and measures her life against the backdrop of the literary and artistic muses that have shaped her. From Marguerite Duras to Colette and Ballard, from Lee Miller to Francesca Woodman and Paolo Rego, we can relish here the richness of their work and in turn the richness of the author's own. Fun. I think it's going to be a really cool experience. I'm really excited. And I've never rated a Deborah Levy book lower than 4 stars. In fact, I've only ever rated her books 4 stars. So hopefully I'll get a 4-star or maybe an even higher rating out of this book. This is a fun cover as well. She always nails the aesthetic, or her design team do. My older brother gave me a copy of The Tower of Dawn. What? The Two Towers by J.R.R. Tolkien. Some people would be very offended that I accidentally called this book a Sarah J. Maas title, but whatever. This is the second book in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, which is a trilogy I've been making my way throughout this year, as in I've only read the first book. I'm buddy reading it with my older brother, which is the reason why he gave it to me. Unfortunately, he is currently living in America, and he bought me an American edition of this book. So yes, it is the same cover. In theory, it should be the same, but it is slightly taller and slightly skinnier than it should be over here, and heavier, way heavier, which is unfortunate because my birthday was actually celebrated in Australia. So he lugged this book over from the US to Australia, which is a very, very long trip, let me tell you. It has fun sprayed edges, green sprayed edges, which you wouldn't get in the UK, but I just want a copy that matches my first one. I know it's so petty in some ways, but in other ways, like, he is actually completely chill. I felt scared to mention it to him, but he's very pleased. He's very okay with me selling this one and then purchasing the UK edition. Basically the exact same book, just the UK one, not the US one. I really, really enjoyed The Fellowship of the Ring. He really enjoyed it too. We're having a great time with this read through, and I need to hurry up and sell and purchase this book so that we can continue it together. In Australia, I bought a couple of books. I only limited myself to 2 because my case was enormous going over and it was enormous heading back, so we had to be careful there. It was winter when I went to Australia, so I didn't have a lot of room. I had that in mind when I was in the bookstores. I did do one shopping day with my younger brother when we went to what's it called, Readings, the Australian bookshop chain, and I found 2 books I was so excited to get to. So the first is A Month in Siena. This is a really beautiful book. It's a piece of kind of like literary travel fiction or non-fiction. Non-fiction. What am I talking about? Matar was 19 years old when his father was kidnapped. In the year following, he found himself turning to art, particularly the great paintings at the Sienese school. These became a refuge and a way to think about the world outside of the urgencies of the present. A quarter of a century later, having found no trace of his father, Matar finally visits the birthplace of those paintings. A Month in Siena is the encounter between the writer and the city. It is an immersion in painting, a consideration of love, grief, and a profoundly moving contemplation of the relationship between art and life. Big fan of art. I feel like that's evident. This just seems like a beautiful book. Very, very kind of layered and complex, but also very heavy on the kind of history of art line, which I'm very, very interested in a kind of casual way. Like, I don't have a lot of knowledge about it, but I'm keen to explore that a little bit further. Secondly, I picked up Set My Heart on Fire by Izumi Suzuki, which is a piece of fiction. Set in the underground bar and club scene of 1970s Tokyo, Set My Heart on Fire tells the story of Izumi in her turbulent 20s through a series of disarmingly frank vignettes. The author presents an unforgettable portrait of a young woman encountering missteps and miscommunication, good music and unreliable men, powerful drugs and disorientating meds. She usually keeps her relationship short but complicated until she meets Jun. Sounds like an incredible book. It's got an incredible cover. Again, we love a good cover. But I've heard just so many good things about this. I think it's like a fictionalized version of the author's life. Both of these books kind of confuse me on the classification, but very excited to pick up these 2 short reads, and was glad to finally see them in a bookstore, because I think I have seen Set My Heart on Fire in a bookstore, but this one I've never seen, but I've been keen on picking it up for a long time. I came back from Australia to an Amazon parcel from Lucy, and she got me 2 books. Very, very generous of her. She got me The Crimson Moth by Kristin, Ciccarelli. This is super fun. It's a YA book, although I think it leans more kind of new adult. It is about a witch and a witch hunter, I believe. It's like a romantasy. I'm very much in the mood for one of these. Very excited to pick this up at some point soon. I thought this was adult, but I'm told it's YA. I don't know. It was one of those books I was kind of putting off reading for no real reason. I didn't plan on ever getting to it. It just didn't really call out to me. I met Lucy in person in June, and she convinced me to pick it up and give it a go. And then she also gave me One Golden Summer, which is a book I have already read. I really enjoyed this. I give it 3.5 stars. I don't know. I felt this was like the romance of the summer, following Charlie and Alice, and it's set on the lake in Canada. And it's just beautiful. So atmospheric, like those cozy, fun romance vibes, but also, again, a lot of depth, which we love to see. I got the summer 2025 issue of Paris Review. This is 252. Incredible cover. Incredible cover. This feels like the book haul of covers. It's so good. I just can't get over it. I have a subscription to this. It's a 1-year subscription. I haven't renewed it as of yet. I've had a tumultuous relationship with the Paris Review, and I'll let you know a little bit about that in, I think it was my previous book haul. Whichever one it was, I'll link it below and on the screen if you want to hear further things. But basically, this is a literary subscription. I haven't actually picked up any of the volumes yet, so not sure how good it is, but I do know that a lot of the authors in here, writers that they collect pieces from, I know of them, so I'm excited to read it. It's a mixture of kind of like essays, poetry, short stories, things like that. Decently kind of intellectually stimulating. So I'm excited to pick this up at some point. And then lastly, I have 2 books from the charity shop. First off, I actually think I got these at the same time, but this is Pandora's Jar, Women in Greek Myths by Natalie Haynes. Say it with me. Fantastic cover. It's about women in Greek myths and exploring them individually one by one, but in a way that is a little bit more kind of respectful than, what we get through the traditional tales. She redresses this imbalance. After millennia of stories telling of gods and men, be they Zeus or Agamemnon, Paris, or Odysseus, Oedipus or Jason, the voices that sing from these pages are those of Pandora, Clytemnestra, Jocasta, Medea, Eurydice, and Penelope. I've just been intrigued by that book, and I know that she's a fantastic writer, so interested to see her writing for myself. Right, then lastly, I picked up Summer by Edith Wharton, which I actually don't know anything about at all, because other than it's a classic, and it has, again, a stunning cover. These pink and black spine classics, I think they're so lovely, and this is a really lovely floppy one. A story of forbidden sexual passion and thwarted dreams set against the backdrop of a lush summer in rural New England. 17-year-old Charity Royal is desperate to escape life with her hard-drinking adoptive father. Their isolated village stifles her, and his behaviour increasingly disturbs her. When a young city architect visits for the summer, it offers Charity the chance to break free. But as they embark on an intense affair, will it bring her another kind of trap? This is fascinating. Caused a sensation in 1917 with its honest depiction of a young woman overturning the rules of her day and attempting to live on her own terms. So it seems like she kind of escapes, the living situation with her father by this relationship she has with this man, but then it actually feels like the same trappings. Okay, I'm fascinated. That sounds great. So there we have it. If I can lift them all up at once. These are 10 books that I'm so excited to get through. These are all pretty short ones actually, other than the Lord of the Rings one. But yeah, so excited about picking these reads up. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up to let me know that you did. Subscribe if you'd like to stick around and see more videos from me. And let me know if you've read any of these, or if you'd like me to feature these in reading vlogs. I would love your thoughts, and I'd love to know if you'd like me to share my thoughts, not just in a wrap up, but like take you through the whole process. I'd love doing an individual one book focused reading vlog. They're one of my favourite things to film. I'll take you along a little bit of my life while I'm reading the book, and also all my thoughts, of course, about it. I'm kind of unique in that a lot of people on YouTube do videos where, they're reading like 3 or 4 books in a week or something, but that's not my reading pace, and it's also not the way I like to discuss books. So if you would like to see a video on any of these titles, let it go know. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Sending my love to you from here to wherever you may be in the world. Bye-bye.